Hello, friends. Welcome inside, at least for me, Ben Garrett, the Riverland Roofing Studios, New Albany branch. Riverland Roofing for all your roofing needs, 662-644-4297, riverlandroofing.com. I write for the Ole Miss Spirit, OMSpirit.com, an affiliate of On3. That QR code above one Brad Logan's head is for the Ole Miss Spirit. For new members, scan it, join us, try us out for 5 days for free before it switches to an annual sub. Just go to the Ole Miss Spirit by scanning that code, the Ole Miss Spirit, OMSpirit.com, affiliate of On3. At Spirit Ben, at Brad Logan, COTE. Hey, Brad, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning, sir. Excited about the show today. As everybody knows, Brian Hadad
I'm sick.
SuperTalk Mississippi does a great job and is the voice of Mississippi State athletics as far as I'm concerned. And let me preface this in the very beginning by saying Jake Crane, friend of the program, On3 Sports, had me on, and along with Blake Ruffino of AYS Sports, and we had the kind of the debate thing. I really like the concept, but what I wanted to do is have something much more local and much more familiar, obviously with Brian and you and I, and especially you and Brian. And I think it's going to be great. We're going to kind of get into the weeds a little bit, kind of talk odds and ends about the history of Ole Miss and State, and I just really dove into the numbers. So we're going to have a really good show today, and I want to really point out how much I appreciate Brian for immediately saying yes. He does great work, and he'll be joining us here in a little bit. So excited about the show today.
Yeah, he's already in the studio, and he can't do anything about this. So I'll just say, I mean, those are really nice things to say about him. This man is an absolute disaster of a human. He's a terrible.
Disagree, by the way.
He's a terrible reporter. He's an even worse. He's an even worse friend in person.
Well, that's your
Hadad. Someone asked on the Ole Miss Spirit, OMSpirit.com, affiliate of On3, ask Brian if WWE is going to give us Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I can already tell you, like, I tried to have this conversation when John Cena came back. You know, I texted Brian, he's my wrestling fan. I was like, hey, are you seeing this? This is crazy. And he's go, I don't even watch WWE anymore. I'm strictly an AEW fan. Like, he's even a snobby wrestling fan. So, I mean, I don't want anybody to get their hopes up here because it's like meeting your heroes.
Well,
With Brian Hadad, once you get to know him, you realize how much there just isn't there. Hey, Brian, what's going on, man?
Ah, good. I was going to say, you're going to just rip the guy and he can't even come in to defend himself?
Hey, Brian, what's going on?
If there has ever been a bigger egg-sucking dog than Ben Garrett, I want to know who it is. All right?
First of all, you come into my house.
Let me tell you something, Ben Garrett. First off, you call me a snob. You are an Ole Miss fan. What the hell kind of world do we live in? We're an Ole Miss. That's like me calling somebody fat. What's wrong with this picture?
Hey, Brian, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Brad? Good to see you as always.
Oh, it's been a minute.
Already off the rails.
It was
always predestined to be like this. Him and I going at it. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I got a few things I got to say first. Number one,
you say what you got to say, then.
Number one,
yeah.
It's kayfabe, but also I have legitimate beef with Brian Hadad, man.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, get absolutely. It out of the air.
You know, like
did you call me a hoe? Did I miss that?
Yeah, I called you way worse things than that.
That's what you have.
Well, yesterday
program.
Yesterday, I almost, in reality, I love Brian Hadad. I find him to be one of my favorite people to ever exist. I love him very much. I think he's great at what he does. But he has maintained kayfabe while I'm the new WWE that I just tell you everything that's going on.
You're doing that show that they do, whatever. I don't even watch it. I like kayfabe. I like the magic, you know.
I do too. And so I'm the same way, but I do have legitimate beef because I tried to it was just a show of friendship and love. I mean, we've both been on the Twitter machine since 2009. I mean, not proud of it.
Yeah.
And so many times I've gone, hey, look, see, I'm following you now, Brian. I'm watching you tweet play-by-play of Mississippi State baseball.
Yeah.
I'm really plugged into basketball of Mississippi State. Like, he still does the old school Twitter stuff. And I thought, since I'm not that active of a Twitter anymore, I'd get a little follow back because he's your friend.
Yeah.
No.
That never happened. I got Borky and Cross with it putting enough Ole Miss propaganda into my Twitter feed. I don't need any more from you.
that man's worried about the algorithm going wrong, and he's like,
I don't need any of that. I'm gonna look up one day and like, why is this my Instagram just all hotty toddy stuff? I don't need that in my life.
Well, the thing is that it completely robbed us yesterday of an opportunity because I was going to do a straight promo on you on Twitter. I was going to go ahead and tweet out like
tweet at me without me following you.
No, but that I'm not engaging with you.
No,
I'm not. I have nothing to say to you. Then know what I mean.
Well,
but I was disappointed in myself mainly because I tagged V Sporto in it too, and you weren't. But then I just
hold on. This is on Twitter.
I stopped myself and I went, you know what? I'll just see him tomorrow. Did
you see? I know you probably didn't, but the Bulldog Sports Radio Instagram account posted something like 2 weeks ago, and it was like a picture of a bulldog, and it was playing like "I'm Back" or something. I don't know the name of the song, and people asking me like, "What's going on?" It's something I was like, I don't know. No. I couldn't be less involved.
It's just
like that, the Office where Michael Scott's like,
yes,
that was me. But I was like, I had nothing to do with it. So since then, nothing. But anyway,
that is bizarre. I really want to know. I mean, there was somebody behind it, so I want to know.
Well, I think we can guess.
Yeah.
So
I do find it hilarious that every time the Bills lose in the playoffs, I always get a text from Brian Hadad. That's just
I do text. That's like my one bit of vitriol that I have left. It's like it happened again.
Yeah, it's really good. How are you, friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Feeling good today, and looking forward to this. Is it a debate? What are we doing?
I don't know. Okay. Well, now that Ben has got his soliloquy out of the way, I wanted to say,
it's a promo.
Like we said earlier, Jake Crane and Crane & Co., good friend of the program, and he had me on, and we had much more of a debate I did with Blake Ruffino of AYS about Ole Miss and LSU. So I thought it's a good concept, but what I wanted to kind of tweak it a little bit and just kind of throw some ideas out there between the two of you because, and look, I know this people are say what they want to say, but I mean, to me, Hadad, I've told him this before, is the voice of Mississippi State in many ways, whether it be the university or the people. I think people come to you. Look, if I need to know the score of something, if I need to know if Jan said something or
get a room.
I told you this, I go to your feed or I listen to Thunder and Lightning with you and Robbie. That's just the fact.
Yeah.
So,
see that?
I mean, that's just the way it is. So I thought if you'll come on, Ben, I would like to get Brian to come on, and then we'll have Ben kind of say the Ole Miss side, and I'll just kind of moderate, and we'll just kind of throw some things out there, have a conversation, and that's just kind of where it is. And
it's very couldn't be more civilized.
Yeah, I just think it'd be great. I'll play the stick man today, and straight man, and we'll just kind of go down the middle. And if we can, by the way, he's at Brian Hadad. If you don't already know this on the X machine, he is the host of Thunder and Lightning. That's a daily show with Robbie Fault. Robbie, another great Mississippi State reporter out there. They do a great show. That's part of the
He doesn't leave the toilet seat down. He doesn't help little old ladies across the street. All he does is sit in his ivory tower and talk his bull. His like whatever comes out of his mouth, man. This is like from the biblical days, man. It's just like
me or Robbie you're talking about.
Oh, well, I don't know Robbie like that. I know you like that.
Okay.
You know. Someone in the chat's already said at @clutch_cam TV. Hey, Dad, jumping on Stingray after the Texas game was legendary.
Yeah, that's okay now. They apologize.
But here's the thing, though. That's a peek inside the real Brian Hadad. All right. All this happy-go-lucky.
Ben, I wish you could have been there for that, man, because you might have sprained an oblique.
Yes,
laughing at what happened there. So,
well, I look forward to one day hearing the full breakdown, but that would require us to be friends and for you to call me. So that's all right. Good. So,
I thought I told you the whole story on that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, I thought
Tell me now. Who cares?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, all right. Let's the elephant. It's not even an elephant in the room. Everybody knows I'm a big State fan. And State has lost this game to Texas, this emotional game where they were up 17 points in the fourth quarter. They should have won. They blow it. But whatever. I have a post-game show that I do on YouTube. I'm trying to, I'm a professional, Ben. I don't know if you know this or not. So I'm just doing I'm just going through my stuff and I'm talking about the game and I'm perfectly calm, right? Like I'm a Mississippi State fan. I've been dead inside for years. What am I worried about? Another loss? Pfft, who cares? So Stingray just like walks in front of my computer. So like you've been in the MSU press box, both of y'all have. You know how it's staggered. And so he's standing down there just staring at me the whole time. Now, if you go back and watch, I think it's about the 2.5 minute mark where I finally say something. He's been there the whole time, just staring at me. And finally, I'm just like, I can't go any further like this. And I'm like, can I help you? And he gives me a horns down. And I'm just like, never mind that State has lost this game. Like, never mind that. Do you think I have this headset on and I'm looking at my computer talking, like doing a Tinder call? What do you think I'm doing here? I'm working, dude. This is a press box. It's a working press box. So, Ben, one of the things I pride myself on is like, I have worked
professionalism.
Well, I work clean. I'm like Danhausen, no cursing, right? Couldn't help it, man. I was just like, what the?
Well, I got a couple of questions. Number one
is what I know what number one is. I already know. I don't know the answer to this question.
All right.
I've asked.
Well, then I'm going to go to this one. Then, like, I just love the idea of Stingray waiting all that time to go. Oh, I'm going to get his ass, man. I'm going to.
I think he did it like out of solidarity. I don't think he was trying to make fun of me. I think he was. Yeah. I think he was like, "Hey, man, it's going to be okay." Like.
That makes less sense.
That does. I agree. So anyway, the next day he sent me an apology. I apologize for my outburst. We've moved on from that.
Yeah, but like, listen, you showed your true colors. You are who you are.
Is that what I am? Well, then wait till we get going here, Ben.
Well, I don't even know what the questions Brad has are.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
The minute he comes on, like the first thing I'm going to do, I didn't tell anybody. I'm just going to shit all over him. I mean, this is just what it is. Why did State hire Jeff Lay and not Joe Judge? And if there's a coaching change after this year, will they look at Judge? Out of the box for Mitchell Bullard 5773. Hey, Brian, the chat wants to know.
Why did you say his record as the head coach of the New York Giants? Why would State have hired him? If I said this before, and I said this when I'll say this right now, Joe Judge was going to be the next head coach at Mississippi State until the Giants hired him. Like the graphics were printed up, everything was ready, and then the Giants hired him, and then they pivoted to Leach. But he was going to be the next head coach. But then he went and did what he did at New York. And I've said this many times about Judge. If he had not gone to Mississippi State, he would not be a candidate. Like, if the special teams coordinator of the New England Patriots in 2019, had gone to the University of Idaho and John Cohen announced he was going to be the next head coach at Mississippi State, there would have been a riot. But because he was an alum, some people bought into it. So I think Joe Judge his contributions might be being just a tad bit overhyped by some Ole Miss fans at this point.
So what Brian Hadad is reporting is that number one, Joe Judge is terrible and he hates him.
That's right.
And secondly,
Jeff blame him for the 2004 Alabama game.
Yep. So that's all you really need to hear there, folks. I mean, like, he can keep acting like he's buttoned up. He's just trying to tell you, yeah, he's an Ole Miss Rebel Black Bear idiot now. So yeah, Joe Judge,
we don't claim him.
You will claim him no more. You know
That's
what
right.
I mean? Because like the ones they do claim, they'll just cast aside like Chad Bumpus. I'm sorry, that was rude.
I don't cast aside Bumpus.
I know, but you're the representative for Ole Miss and whatever Brad has created here.
Okay.
Like so, like
I'm not representative for Ole Miss. Let's be clear about that.
Like
Dak
didn't shit his pants in the Egg Bowl. You did. Like Brian Hadad.
How dare you talk about your absolute favorite NFL player like that? How dare you, sir?
I love Dak Prescott. Well, it's because you haven't delivered.
If it meant a Super Bowl.
Well, the problem is that you haven't delivered. I said, Brian, I've never asked you for anything.
Mm-hmm.
We've been friends for a long time.
He hasn't been here. If he comes here, I will make sure that you get here. I will let you know you will be here. We will get you a credential, and we will get you up close to Dak, and you can try to rub on him.
No, I just want to put my hand up front like this, like that dude on the airplane. Like, let me shake your hand, sir. You know?
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Let me shake your hand.
Can I get like a little dap? You know, something.
Yeah, I just want to tell him, you know what, Dak, you're seen.
Brad, I just wanted to let you know that I knew that there was no chance that whatever format you had, I knew that there was no chance.
That's why I have a ton of notes, because I just want to hit a couple of them, because I knew Ben was going to completely wreck the plane out.
Ben could derail literally any train in America. All right, that's what this guy does. He comes on the podcast. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He he'll do like one sports question, and then it's like, "How are you? I love you, man. You're the best." Like, why don't we talk about this? That's what Ben Garrett does. He's a podcast hijacker.
What's so funny is I didn't know, like, when did I become like a soft talker? Like, "Hey, man, I love you." Like, that is,
you're like brother love.
Yeah, that is. That's a new one. That one kind of threw me. That's also because I don't know how to light my home studio. I got these 2 lights, and like,
I'm just sitting here with fluorescent lights, man. I'm doing the best I can. I don't have
this is the best I got here. Yeah. All right, Brad.
Too, so.
Yeah. Let's talk some specifics here just for a moment. Topical right now.
Okay.
We're topical with baseball. The Ole Miss and Mississippi State baseball programs are wide open. I want to give a couple of numbers, and we're going to start with our friend Brian to begin with. If we look at both baseball programs, both have national championships. Ole Miss in 22, Mississippi State in 21. If you look at superlatives, you've got much more in favor of Mississippi State with 11 SEC championships, 7 tournament championships, 12 college World Series appearances. The overall record favors Mississippi State, 20 first-round picks to 8 for Ole Miss. The Rebels in the NCAA tournament field. Yeah. 25 appearances in the tournament for Ole Miss, 3 conference championships, and then 8 SEC championships, 20 first-round picks to 8. The stadium's very similar. Dudy Noble, a little bit bigger, and they had the biggest crowd against Ole Miss back in 23.
It's not
16,000 plus, and then Ole Miss had 12 plus versus LSU in 18. Hadad, I'll throw it to you first.
I agree. Mick Gross. It's Hadad. Dang right. Sorry.
Let's talk about the overall baseball programs and why you think Mississippi State is a better program.
Yes, it is. The Trey Freifogel.
Wow. What up, Trey?
Yeah.
George County legend.
See, and we had him on the show not too long ago either.
No way this is going to work.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
And I was like, hey, it's Trey Freifogel. I remember when I'm old enough to remember when he was being recruited. What was the question, Brad?
Sorry.
Just overall programs, baseball. Obviously, Ole Miss has been successful. State, maybe, obviously, with the numbers I read, more successful from a number standpoint. Historically, why you think State has a better baseball program than Ole Miss?
Well, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Ole Miss has 3 Omaha trips ever, right?
Yes.
2014, 2022, and 70s.
Omaha, not College World Series. Omaha. Like, they used to play it in North Carolina today.
I understand. Well, that's kind of moving our goalposts, but there's 6 College World Series appearances in history. I'm not sure how many are in Omaha, but yeah, you're right.
I'm sure it's 3. Mississippi State went to Omaha 3 straight years in 2019, 2021. Obviously, 2020 season didn't happen, and 2018, 2019, 2021. I mean, Mississippi State has, as you mentioned, 12 appearances in Omaha to 3 for Ole Miss. This isn't much of a debate. Ole Miss, I will give them a lot of credit in that since Mike Bianco took over, and it's hard to believe how long he's been there, they have been one of the best baseball programs in the SEC. They've been in that elite tier. They've won a national title. They have plenty of postseason success. But if we're talking historically, it's not close. It's Mississippi State by a large margin.
I can't even argue against it.
I mean, when we get to football, I'm going to be kind of similar, right? I mean, like, what can I say?
You go the other way, and he's going to get embarrassed. But it leads to a bigger discussion here. All right. Number one, Mississippi State, because of the explosion of NIL and how it's been more of an uphill battle in football, and you're starting to see a little bit of that bleed into basketball, they were absolutely correct to pour into baseball the way that they did. They have the best stadium in college baseball, the best environment in college baseball. Mississippi State has one of the very best coaches in college baseball, and right, like they can go steal a contemporary from a school that used to be contemporary because Mississippi State is in that elite tier. That's what they are. And like the postseason record or the postseason wins and losses aren't even comparable. They're really not. However, what any of us remember in the year of our Lord 2026, because let's be honest here, we have the attention spans of dogs, is
I have great memory.
is State winning the title in 2021. It's objectively hilarious. And like even Brian Hadad.
We didn't get a full year. We didn't even get a full year of being the national champion before Ole Miss. And to continue the connections, how did Ole Miss get into the tournament? Mississippi State Athletic Director John Cohen stood on the table for them.
Yes, he did. Mike Bianco went to bat, said, hey, and like that's what you're supposed to do if you're Mike Bianco. And at the time he was told from Cohen, and I quote, don't F it up.
Yeah.
And to
he
his
did.
credit,
he did. And he still got in. And so it's a great story. I think it's kind of funny that both State and Ole Miss, their national championship teams are not their best ever teams. Like, it's not close. Like the Ole Miss 05 team, the Ole Miss 09 team, they're much better than that 22 team. State, I would say that the 19 team was better than the 21 team. The 16 team was 85, obviously. So, yeah, it's just that's pretty typical for Mississippi State and Ole Miss that their national championship team is not even historically their best teams.
Mm-hmm. And see, the best part of it is like, so where Brian is absolutely correct. When you compare them by the benchmarks that you compare these programs, whatever it is, if it's postseason success, if it's attendance numbers, if it's the newness of facilities or this, that, whatever it might be, Mississippi State right now is above Ole Miss. It's the best, one of the very best, if not the best program in the country right now. It just is. And like, because they had to be like,
I'm glad you're dealing in truth today. I was worried that I was going to come on here and you were going to try to be, try to make this comparison. I'm glad to hear,
because it's silly. It's like it's like it doesn't have to be a comparison thing. Like it can be objectively true that Ole Miss has a top 6 baseball program over the last 20 years, while State has got a top 3. Like both things can be true. And also true, as Ole Miss fan 198824 pointed out, the fact that they won their one and only title, despite all of those trips in 2021, tried to talk their crap as Brian Hadads of the world do. And a year later, Ole Miss won it too, against the backdrop
objectively
of history.
Hilarious.
Yeah, against the backdrop of history, they look more evenly matched than they necessarily are, and that's where the little brother, big brother stuff comes from, and why you always see this guy. It's like, really? Couldn't wait till 2023 to win your title, Ole Miss, you dicks. It's like,
hey, Brian,
that may actually be a quote.
Yeah.
Is it fair to is there some form of disappointment from the Ole Miss fan? From the Mississippi State fan base that there's only been one title when you've got 12 appearances and so many good teams, the Will Clark Palmero teams from 89 and 90, the Coens and the Art Masters home runs and all that.
One of the best State teams of all time was 89. They didn't even make it to Omaha. They went 54-14 and I mean, just didn't make it to Omaha. The 85 team, clearly one of the most, so much talent, and there are 4 Major League All-Stars playing for that team and didn't get the job done. I thought the 19 team was better than the 21 team with Jake Mangum and Elijah McNamee and Ethan Small.
Jake Mangum.
You notice he made that
Ole Miss killer.
Yeah. Maybe the best one of all time in terms of that. So,
the best one of all time.
You see who's making the noise and not me. I'm just talking. He's over here having issues.
Hey, if somebody's on the audio with Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, Talking Champions, maybe you're at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, Fleet of On 3, this little QR code above my head, scan it. New member can try us for 5 days for $1 before it switches to an annual sub. Having said all that, the ones that are just listening, I hear Brian Hadad moaning about Jake Mangum. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not me. That's not me.
Jake Mangum.
But yeah,
any event, I think it's fair to say it's, State is a program that should have more than one title.
Yes,
100%. And I would also say that State, they win the title and then they immediately fell apart. They had back-to-back terrible seasons. I remember when State won, I was like, all right, the glass ceiling is broken. In 5 years, I'm going to look back and State will have at least one more, and it just completely fell apart. That's one thing about State baseball over the last couple, 2 decades, is that State's had some really high highs, but they have also had some really low lows. I mean, they finished last in the SEC 4 times in that time frame, I believe. I mean, that's not what you would expect from a program that we talk about with the accolades that Mississippi State has. So that's what I'm hopeful with Brian O'Connor, is that I think that the Omaha appearances and hopefully a national championship will come, but I'm hopeful that there's just more stability, that it, like a down year at Mississippi State should be you're a 2 seed in somebody else's regional, not you didn't have a winning season.
Mike Bianco or Ron Polk, Brian?
Polk.
Polk.
It's Polk. Yeah, it's Polk. But Bianco, I will never disrespect that guy. Great coach. And I mean, you guys are old enough to know, like, took over a program that was one of the worst in the SEC. And within a couple of years had it as one of the best in the SEC. Great coach. There's no disrespect for Mike Bianco from this end.
But the problem with their lack of postseason success is that Ole Miss winning the biggest prize, matching Mississippi State one time winning a national championship, makes the conversation seem more even than it really is.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's kind of like Auburn and Alabama in football, right? You know, Cam Newton wins a national title, and Auburn fans want to believe they're on the same tier as Alabama. They're not. And obviously, this is a different situation because Alabama has, by their count, 216 national titles. But Alabama is a objectively better football program than Auburn. I think the Mississippi State is objectively a better baseball program than Ole Miss.
I would say that they're like a much closer than that. They're better. Like you can say two things can be true.
Yeah,
State can be top 3 even when they're shitty. Ole Miss is top 6, top 8 even when they're shitty. Yeah. And there are times where they're better than they usually are historically. The hard truth for State, for people like Brian Hadad, is they only got the one title. So Ole Miss has got it too and did it the year after. So yeah, they're the exact same, man. So Ole Miss, that's an even split. All right, go to the next sport.
Let's look at men's and women's hoops together. Men's hoops, Mississippi State, the numbers favor the Bulldogs with the one Final Four appearance. Ole Miss doesn't have any. State 3 Sweet 16s, Ole Miss 2. The NCAAs, ironically, are very much closer than I thought. State with 10 NCAA appearances, Ole Miss with 9. 7 division championships for Mississippi State, 5 for Ole Miss, 4 SEC tourney championships for State, 3 for Ole Miss.
This is a lot closer than State wants to admit.
It's a lot closer than I
thought.
Well,
there's one coming up that he hasn't said.
The 10 SEC championships to none. That's the one Brian is waiting on.
I don't even know what he's talking about, man. I didn't hear that. You dropped out there, Brad.
Yeah,
what was that?
And we have to.
But let me say this: only 2 are modern day between 91 and 04.
That's correct. But that's the other side of this.
There are some in the past, and this is a totality conversation. So
that's the other
probably
side of the
put State over the edge.
State would have 5 more NCAA tournament appearances if our backward-ass state had allowed Mississippi State to travel to play in the NCAA tournament from 1959 to 1962, when Bailey Howell was at Mississippi State, when they were right there with Kentucky as the best basketball program in the country. But they couldn't go play because they couldn't play against integrated teams. And when they finally broke that in 1963, they finally, they escaped the state to go do that. But they had missed out on, I mean, in reality, that Bailey Howell, his senior year, I think State was 24-1. They were the number 1 team in the nation and got left out of the NCAA tournament. I mean, they had a real chance to. It's just incredible, right? So again, that's a very Mississippi State thing to have happen. So again, the head-to-head record, I know, heavily favors Mississippi State as well.
It does.
Men's basketball, MSU leads 153 to 121. So
yeah, I mean, that's almost all the Ed Murphy days.
But and if you look at it, if you look at it this way, like you can semantically argue some specific things. Like, for example, if you weighed Andy Kennedy's resumes when they won like 24 wins in 2008 against the backdrop of what the criteria is now, they would be in like as an 8 seed, if not a 6 seed. You can do yours is more of specifically in relation to something that was happening in the country at the time. The point is like you can start to pick things apart in that way. The numbers at the end of the day, as AK used to say, your numbers are what they say you are. And especially recently, Ole Miss and Mississippi State are kind of in the same bucket as far as basketball programs. They are. Now, historically, yes, the success of Mississippi State basketball is greater than Ole Miss's. Like, I remember in 1997, whatever it was, 96, when they went to the Final Four, how absolutely disgusting that was for a kid in North Mississippi walking around school. And we really cared about this stuff there, you know? Yeah. While my buddies Jack and Martin and them were all wearing their Final Four shirts and shit like that. Like, yeah, it drives you crazy. So that in and of itself.
It's been 30 years, so.
Yes. While Ole Miss
to say.
Yeah. How many Sweet 16s has State been to?
All time or since then?
3?
3. They've been to 3 all time, and Ole Miss has been to 2.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
well, and if you, I mean, I'll make your argument for you a little bit. Since that Final Four run, State has not advanced past the first week of the NCAA tournament.
I was getting there.
30 years since that's happened, and there's been some good Mississippi State teams. That 2004 team that won the SEC,
They were
but
so
lost in
good.
the second round. I thought that 2009 when Jamont Gordon and Charles Rhodes were there, those were good teams, but they never advanced past the second round. So postseason has been a problem for Mississippi State. There's no question about that. Jan's 3 NCAA tournament appearances in his first 3 years. This year, same with Ole Miss, it's just an absolute wash. These two teams are putrid bad. They're so hard to watch. I think both teams should be embarrassed that they lost to the other team this year.
They really should.
State should be absolutely fuming they lost to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss should be the same, that they lost to State. That neither one of these teams are any good.
They're terrible, and like now in the modern era with the challenges that they present, I don't know if consistency or consistently winning 24 games is in the cards for either of these programs moving forward. However, Ole Miss has shown that it'll pay for basketball, and it's shown
so is State.
And so is State. So the question is navigating this new reality, because I would say those two programs now are closer than they've ever been, or more similar than they've ever been.
Yeah,
historically, they're more aligned than they've ever been.
The peak of the Ole Miss, like the end of the Rob Evans going into Rod Barnes. That's where Stansbury had State going. That's probably the closest they've been. You're talking about the Provine posse at Ole Miss, and State would have had Mario Austin and Tim Bowers and Derek Zimmerman and those guys.
Eric Dampier, when was he? 2001?
Dampier, he's on the Final Four team. He's older than
That's a 96 team.
That's a 96
game. I loved Eric Dampier. I can admit that now since I'm 40.
You can in a couple of years you can like Eric Dampier Jr. at Mississippi State.
Which God, Brian,
is he already committed to State?
No, he's not committed, but I'll be shocked if he's not a Bulldog.
Yeah,
but also there's an Eric Dampier Jr.
So I think I may have sent this to you. This was like 3 years ago, though. Somebody sent this to me that I forget who. I think it was Florida State was playing Florida A&M in football, and Winsome Frazier Jr. made a tackle. I was like,
yeah,
what? That's starting to happen. I mean, who's the potential number 1 pick in the draft? Is Cam Boozer's kid?
Yeah. Well, my problem was when like Davern Gerald's son showed up, Deuce Gerald's. I was like, oh my god,
yeah, it's starting to happen. We had Cole Smith here at Mississippi State. I was in college when Brent Smith was playing.
Yeah,
college football here at Mississippi State. So it's just we're getting old, brother.
You've been very old. And where I'm thinking is like neither basketball program, like old days, it wasn't even close. But now it's just like with the way things are. I don't know. Like neither one of these basketball programs are where they want to be in 2026, obviously.
Right.
If you look like structurally which program or which athletics department is healthier, it's Ole Miss, because Ole Miss has the money, it has the Growth Collective, and has the AB.
Well, I don't think money is a huge issue. This is a great piece of Ole Miss propaganda that gets put out all the time.
I'm not saying that like it's the bougie wearing.
Hubbard's not sitting around for free,
No, but what I am saying is that you can't spend 40 years of your life, which I've heard you do it, talk about y'all are the schools of doctors and lawyers and snooty assholes. Right. And we're the common man, and not then when money becomes the only determining factor, Ole Miss doesn't have an advantage over State. It's been proven. It's insane to say otherwise.
Spent a ton in this NIL class. It's just not a good class.
Right. So allocation of resources and spending more, like it's not even about spending more money Ole Miss does, but like how it allocates its resources. Ole Miss is more efficient in that way than State is.
What is Ole Miss's record this year?
In football.
Oh, I'm not talking about, we're talking about basketball.
What I'm saying is basketball, Ole Miss and State are kind of like right there.
I'll give you, again, football, there's no question what we're talking about. Okay. I thought we were talking about basketball.
Well, so women's basketball, Ole Miss is better.
They are better right now. There's no question.
Right now. Well, what are we doing? Okay. Are we comparing everything historically? Because, like, historically,
we are. And Ben, if you will just say remotely on the train tracks,
because women's basketball for 30 years, Ole Miss dominated that sport, right? I mean,
Chancellor
70 and 39 overall.
Yeah, but at one point that was like 57-1 or something like that. It was really bad. Vic Schaefer obviously brought that back in. I think. In terms of just having the moment, like having the highest high, that's Mississippi State. They played for back-to-back national championships. But overall, it'd be difficult not to say Ole Miss because they had the Van Chancellor times, and now Coach Yo has them as a pretty consistent presence in the NCAA tournament.
All right, so like, how many sports are we doing here?
Well, I guess
okay. Now we're going to football, and
you win.
And I think football has a lot more to talk about.
Roll credits, Hey, folks, let's hear from C Spire real quick before we jump into football. This is one of our dear sponsors, C Spire.
Start my weekend.
Own your day on the Network for Connected Living. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Ooh.
So let's take
that
a
was
look.
cool. How do you do that?
Ooh, fancy.
Dropping commercials in the middle of the podcast. I need to learn that.
And that's it, folks. Ole Miss is better than state of football, and Brian Hadad sucks.
It's not it.
Sorry.
We have some things to discuss.
Right.
A couple of things I want to point out. Ole Miss is 5-1 since 2020. A streak Mississippi State had. They were 13-0 from 1911 to 1925. Ole Miss was 14.
David Murray was there for all those games.
From 47 to 62. Ole Miss had a good stretch from 71 to 1990, 18-5. Here's what I want to talk about, though. Since 1991, and this game got moved to campus, Ole Miss has a one-game lead, 18-17, which is a lot closer than people think.
More or less. So, if you say that, it's not really true. The road team has had a ton of success in this series, for
especially
some
recently.
Yeah. What was it? 94 through 98, the road team won every game.
Correct.
And then again in, there was another stretch. It was 15. Yeah, it was 15, 16, 17, 18. The road team won every game. So it happens. It's really
wacky. It's much closer recently. Now, overall, 64, 46, and 6. We've talked about that 114 times on the gridiron since 1901. The trophy began in 1927. So Ole Miss has had some success overall, the history of the program, and that's kind of what we've talked about. Recently, though, it's been much closer. I want to run across a couple of numbers here that we could probably debate. Obviously, the college football playoff, since its state has not made it, Ole Miss has won this past year. SEC championships, Ole Miss has 6. Mississippi State has 1 in 1941. And many claim that 1940 season could have been a national championship year for Mississippi State with Alan McKean. 16 All-Americans.
He's just being down the middle. Let this man talk.
Straight up. So 38 All-Americans to 45 for Ole Miss. 11 first-round picks for State. 25 for Ole Miss.
Not close.
It's not. There's no debate.
54 All-Americans for Ole Miss. The key for me is obviously the overall record, but it is interesting to me, guys, that it's been much closer since 1991, although the recency obviously has favored Ole Miss 5-1 since 2020.
That tells you that. But prior to Kiffin's arrival, the on-campus State would have been up by, 3? Something like that, I guess.
Since the game came to campus.
Kiffin he dominated Mississippi State. There's just no getting around that. He won. What you said, he was 5-1. The one win that State had was an upset. Ole Miss was favored to win that game, and they just played really poorly that night in Oxford.
That was the Auburn year when Lane was flirting with Auburn.
Yes. Can you imagine? Last game. I can't believe Lane Kiffin would flirt with other employers. That's the craziest thing. I think one of my favorite stats is that Joe Moorhead was – Ole Miss fans love to say, the Egg Bowl is all that matters to State. They go 1-10. Moorhead was 2-0 against Ole Miss, but they fired him. So, that kind of hopefully disproves that a little bit.
I think we're in the D.
19 was the last time State won in Starkville. They haven't won in Starkville since 2019.
Which going to Starkville used to be a house of horrors. Like I remember in 2008 after to me 2008 is one of, if not the most dominant Egg Bowl.
One of the biggest wins in Mississippi State history that day.
Because they got rid of Sly Crow.
You guys did us the biggest favor imaginable. I've said it 1,000 times. If Houston Nutt could go back in time and find a way to win that game 14-13, he'd do it. He'd do it.
But instead, 45-0. I was quite literally like every time Wesley Carroll or any quarterback.
Yeah. Well, Tyson Lee.
That was 2007.
Yeah.
No,
all right.
no, 08. He's talking about 08. That's when that happened.
Yeah, got knocked out. Tyson Lee, Wesley Carroll. Man, those boys are going against Greg Hardy, Jarrell
Ralph came in, and I remember Ralph threw a pass, and I was just like, your guess is as good as mine where that ball's going. He can throw it far.
But then in 2009, with Ole Miss tracking to make the Cap one ball, all you had to do was beat crappy State. Chris Ralph has the one game where Ole Miss just like couldn't guard a basic option, and they dominate.
He had two more games like that. Chris Ralph is on the Jank Mangum tier of I can beat Ole Miss.
I can beat Ole Miss. I can beat Ole Miss. That's who he was. And but like,
who's the Ole Miss version of that? Like he just always had big games against. I know for like basketball, I would tell you that Brian Tyree was that guy.
Dante Moncrief always ripped.
Moncrief had good games against State.
Yeah.
Brian Tyree, every time he played State, it was like he's going to get a 40 piece. Man, it was just unbelievable. I would do podcasts and be like, just don't let him get 40 points and you'll probably win. And then they would.
Yeah, Brian Hadad is not housewife material. He's all hoe, Trey Freifogel. Like Trey Freifogel, George County.
I just dapped him up. I gave him respect, and this is how he treats me.
I just wanted you to know that Trey
Bill Flowers. I'll tell you that, Trey Freifogel. How about that?
Oh, Trey Freifogel. He's trying to talk crap. Now, maybe he wasn't referencing you. Like to think he was, though.
I'm just saying he's no Bill Flowers.
Y'all want to trigger Brian Hadad at @clutch_CamTV, AJ Brown.
It doesn't trigger me at all. It's one of the biggest laughs.
CJ Johnson.
I don't like CJ. Your story you told me about CJ Johnson when he went to visit the Eagles. I have shared that story about 20 times, and it gets a laugh every time I share it.
It's truly funny. For those
AJ
that don't
Brown
know,
kills me like I'm the mayor of Starville. You lost 2 out of the 3 Egg Bowls you played in, Chief.
Don't let facts get in the way of a good face.
I know.
He was talking about the flirting comment about Lane, not about you, Brian Hadad. Trey Freifogel says he wasn't talking about.
Okay, Trey, I appreciate you then.
Yeah, I was trying to turn Brian into a hoe, and
I'm very, very, very conservative in my
very housewife.
Yeah, I'm very housewifey. I cook and clean. It's great.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you can really make a hell of a bundt cake. Like I bet you could. Really, you know what I mean? Like,
is there a reference I don't know here? Is that like what the kids are doing?
Sure.
City, Ohio. What's happening here?
Hey, Dad, what is the most satisfying win over Ole Miss for you? Is to me the most difficult loss to State I can remember is the 13 overtime when Nico Whitley stripped Bo Wallace. That was tough.
I would love to know. I still don't know. I would love to know what Nico said to him when he teabagged him at the end there. I would say the most. I'll give you 2. Winning in Oxford in 1998 to go to the SEC championship game was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Knowing that Tuberville was leaving at that moment, it felt like Mississippi State was on top of the world. But just from a pure, I enjoyed this game standpoint. 2016. I wish I had known at that time it was going to be Hugh Freeze's last game. I might have made a bigger ass of myself than I already did. But State just murdered Ole Miss that day. Fitzgerald could not be stopped. And I stayed the night in Oxford. I just walking around the square like Ric Flair. I was just strutting everywhere I went, hitting up the different bars and stuff. I had a great time. So 2016 is probably in terms of the enjoyment of watching the game. But 1998 was a great time. I drank some champagne in the Grove, took a picture under the Arch of Champions. So at least one champion stood underneath it, I guess.
First of all, you dick. First of all, are you going to ask me do I get the same courtesy? My favorite or most
favorite? Ben's not a real big Ole Miss fan. I don't know if y'all know this or not. He's very professional journalist.
There's not going to be enough time to cut this thing up. I mean, this is the greatest thing I've ever done.
All right,
go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, go ahead.
The most
satisfying win over
satisfying.
Yeah.
All right. When you and I were working together, hey Dad.
Yeah.
And you were always needling me.
I was all the time.
What all wins did Ole Miss get in them Egg Bowls that we were working together? All right. The 2012.
12 you got? Yeah. We were working? No, we didn't work together in 12, I don't think.
All right. Well, I can't remember what it was.
We worked 13 to 16 together. So you got
12 was Speed Moncrief.
Yeah.
12 was Speed Moncrief. What was 13?
13 was
the Egg Bowl and Starboard. Dak comes in off the bench.
That sucked. What was 14?
14's in Oxford, where State. If State had won, they might have made the playoff.
Yep.
And
Jalen Walton had
Jalen
the big
Walton.
run, remember?
God, I can still see that. That was painful.
That was a very satisfying Egg Bowl.
That was a good one.
That was a good. I remember that game when State scored at the start of the second half, and all the State fans were all like, "Okay, all right, we got this now. We're going to be okay." And then, like the next play, Bo Wallace throws an 80-yard touchdown pass to Evan Ingram. I was like, "Never mind, we don't have this." And
no.
You know, it went back and forth a little bit, and then Ole Miss had that long run, the Jalen Walton run, which when you watch it, if you go back and watch it, which I try not to,
shocker.
State has like 3 chances to get him in the backfield.
In the backfield, yeah.
And they're just trying to strip the ball. And it's like, just tackle him.
Just tackle him.
And make them punt. But they didn't do that. So, yeah, 14 and 15 are the ones where you got me when we were working for V Sport. For sure.
So those are
15 was the most dominating win I've ever seen in Star Wars.
And the score line does not dictate how badly Ole Miss beat State that day.
Yeah.
That was satisfying because it was in Brian Hadad's lap, and
we knew the winner was going to go to the Sugar Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
I had a long debate with my cousin, who's a big LSU fan, who was convinced that they were going to take LSU to the Sugar Bowl, and I was like, Chris, the rules of the conference dictate they have to take the winner of this game. No, they'll just take LSU. I was like, you are the most typical LSU fan you'll ever meet.
See, LSU fans, it's not just Ole Miss people that are telling y'all to chill.
I say this all the time. Like, everybody hates LSU. The LSU is the most hated team in the conference. There's nobody who likes LSU. There's nobody who's like, oh yeah, I love having a good time down at LSU. Nobody.
I mean, every time I've gone to LSU, it's been something has been thrown at me. And now I'm like quite literally getting like mentions saying, hey, if you come down here, we're going to beat the shit out of you. It's like
that's my burner.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just always assume that everybody that's trying to harm me is Brian Hadad.
Yeah, as you should. Yeah, we are legion.
He's an absolute disaster of a human being. And
so long story short, did we determine that it's 2-1 State on this?
No, we saw it's at the very least it's 2-2. At the very least. And also, I didn't get to tell y'all the most satisfying. Shut up. The most satisfying.
There you go.
Women's basketball.
Oh, okay. All right.
The most satisfying Egg Bowl win for me was 2008 because, like, again, I came back from New Orleans. Ole Miss, that team learned how to win. I still contend that team, even like Ole Miss's record 13 wins last year, 2008, the roster as constructed, and the way they were playing at the end of that year with Michael Crabtree,
they were really good.
They would beat the shit out of Ole Miss's 2025 team. Like I truly believe
that was a really, really good football team.
Really good football team. The only reason they were 9-4 is because Houston Nutt was competent, but also his ceiling was like nine wins. You know what I mean? Like he was only going to ever get to 9 wins.
Ben,
they lost Vanderbilt that year, for goodness sake.
Yeah, you want to hear my funny 2012 Egg Bowl story? I don't know if I've ever told you.
Yes.
So, State's the game's getting out of hand, and we're just like, enough. Yeah, because it was a party in that stadium. Like I was like, I'm not having any more of this. Let's go. So we were staying, I think, at the Hampton Inn out there off of Jackson, and they had a shuttle, and they were like, "Yeah, just call us. We'll come pick you up." Well, they're not picking up the phone.
Sure.
So we see one of those like this is 2012, so it's not an Uber, it's a cab. Like there's one of those cabs, it's a van, and we're like, "Hey, will you take us to the Hampton Inn?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, sure. We just got to wait on a guy." Like, all right, cool. We'll wait a couple minutes. We get in the van. We're sitting there waiting. And we're like, who are we waiting on? He's like, this guy asked me to wait on him. He said he was handicapped. I was like, okay, sure. We'll wait. A couple more minutes go by. I mean, the crowd is just going nuts. And I see a guy coming like in a wheelchair. I'm like, is that our guy? No, I don't think that's him. He said he had Crohn's disease. So a friend of mine just goes, that's not handicapped.
It's not a...
So the driver's like, I know, but I told him I'd wait. Well, I think about at this point, Moncrief scores again, and the place is going ballistic.
And remember, Jonathan Banks talked all kinds of crap that week.
My buddy pulled out a $50 bill and said, can we leave now? And the guy said, yep. And we took off and went to the hotel.
I'll never forget.
That's my second favorite Egg Bowl story of things that happened at Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
Well, see, like all of my experiences in Starkville going to football games weren't particularly great, most of them. And my dad notoriously left games early. He was one of those.
Oh, he's one of those.
Yeah, so like the 2-point conversion win for Ole Miss. Like, dude, we were already there. Dude, we were already at West Point.
Oh, that sucks.
Bro, he'd already taken our bus to halfway to West Point. So, like, I'm hearing DK give the call, and to this day, I still have to tell my dad, I was like, "Hey, man, like, thanks for not allowing us to enjoy the win at all." You know what I mean? My dad just get like rather than live in the shittiness of losing, my dad would rather be in his cart acting like
his home.
Didn't happen.
Like the 08 Egg Bowl, Jack Crystal famously said, like, I would imagine a good number of those people who came to this game are already at home midway through the third quarter.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Brian, was that the Sonic drive of the game? Was my drive home
absolutely
to
was. I'll tell you my other, and it's from the 08 Egg Bowl. I love this story. So I'm in line to go in, and of course, Cobra security back in the day, notorious for really being rough on the state fans. I used to like walk with my hands behind my head, and like I would straddle, and I would be yelling out stuff like, are you going to buy me dinner after this? Please be gentle on me, sir. Yeah. So I'm standing there in line, and I hear,
"You're violated."
I know. I hear click, clack, click, clack, and I look behind me, and here comes this blind guy, got the cane. He's, coming in, and immediately I'm like, "Hey, y'all, let's let this guy through, blind guy." So he walks past us, and one of his friends leans over and goes, "He's not blind." I was like,
"Fantastic."
Excuse me? He's like, he's wearing a poncho. There's 2 fists of whiskey and 3 cowbells under that poncho. They just let him in, man. They didn't even look at him. Just walked right in.
That's the greatest story I've ever heard.
You want to be the asshole that stops the blind guy? Regardless of what the truth was.
If you're still out there, sir, kudos to you. I still think about that from time to time. It's so funny.
Oh, that is so funny, dude. I don't know what the score is, Brad. Yeah. I don't know.
We're roughly
We're tied, so obviously trial by combat.
This is going to be a tiebreaker. We'll leave it up to the fans. Before we get Brian out of here, we're roughly 50 minutes.
We're up to the fans. Well, I guess Ole Miss won. Who listens to this podcast?
Hey, believe me, we've got plenty of fans on both sides.
Look, I'm locked in to try to win this thing, and Brian's over there just trying to argue to change the rules and stuff.
So let's look at big picture. Let's go to Brian first. Program trajectory in the world of NIL.
It's my house. I'm sorry.
So, Brian, program trajectory, new world of NIL, rev share, where State is right now versus where Ole Miss is right now. What are your thoughts?
Ole Miss clearly ahead. And because when NIL started, everybody at Ole Miss got on board. And at Mississippi State, John Cohen's bright idea was, let's sign baseballs. And so Ole Miss had basically a 3-year head start until Zach Selman was able to get in here and get some work done. And now I feel like Mississippi State is at least competitive in the NIL sphere. They don't retain the players they retained this year. They kept almost everybody they wanted to keep. They kept Kelly Jones. They kept Anthony.
Have we lost Brian?
Hold on. I think he locked up a little bit. So
he froze on us. I kind of hope he stays froze just to show who's the real winner here.
He was rolling, and
I know, and he just stopped.
We have to get him to log out and log back in. Brian, if you can hear us, we're gonna.
I'll remove him from the stage.
Yeah,
it's pretty typical of Brian Hadad. You know what I mean?
His internet. Fun. I mean, everybody on the
his internet goes out. He just didn't want the smoke.
What we want to do is this may be a good idea to do something and related to other programs like LSU, Auburn, Texas, and other programs throughout the country, and maybe do this. This has been a lot of fun today. And
give me what's the question you were asking him as he tries to come back in?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think in regards to program trajectory in the world of NIL, rev share? What I was going to also ask him was about the possibility of breaking away from the NCAA and forming a super conference, and where you think State is right now versus where Ole Miss is.
Well, one, I don't think the super conference has happened at any point. But let's see. I think Brian I don't know. Brian said, "What happened? I don't know." Come back in. Right now, Ole Miss is in a better place for football. And just the health of its overall NIL is in a better place. Somebody in the comments, I think it's a LSU fan, saying how Brad did a great job debating Blake. Ben needs to do the same. Blake would destroy Ben. Ben is all about what he wants almost to be. Not other years. Oh, okay, good. A lot of nonsense there, but a long way of saying we were just vamping for you to get back.
I mean, I've been trying. They tried to silence me.
No,
it was all Brad, dude. Dude, he's a silent assassin, man.
Brad's like the anonymous GM of Raw. He's just lurking in the background.
That's who he is, man.
So I want to revisit what Ben was saying a moment ago. Whenever we took a time out, Brian, you were specific that it's not all about money. It's other things that are incorporating in the world of NIL, rev share, the trajectory of programs.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, can you elaborate on that?
I just think that right now, State has the leadership in place and the funding in place to be competitive in this sphere. Now, Ole Miss is clearly ahead, right? And the results bear that out because, again, in 2019, 2020, when all the seeds of this are being planted, Ole Miss, Keith Carter, Walker Jones, they all work together. They get everybody pulling the rope the same way. Mississippi State fan, you had John Cohen going out and talking about, this is unsustainable, and we got to do things a little differently here at Mississippi State. Instead of just getting on board and saying we need money, and if you don't donate, we're going to lose, which is the crux of NIL. So Zach Selman has had to catch up, and he's got State caught up to the point where I feel like they can win recruiting battles at least. But to say that they're not on pace with Ole Miss right this second, there's no question about that.
Ben?
I thought he nailed that. It was actually nice to see like actual honesty come out of his stupid mouth. He actually got something to say.
That's a little hard.
Yeah.
Hey, look, are we cutting promos? Are we doing wrestling? Are we having like a little fun? Like everybody loves each other. Let me tell you something about Brian Hadad. All right. Brian Hadad can't tell his mouth from his ass. All right.
All right. Yeah.
But finally, he opens it up and
Ben Garrett
don't come rolling out.
Ben Garrett over there.
It's actually some truth.
That guy couldn't beat a Soapy Pecker. This guy, he is just an absolute terrible human being.
Hey, Ben, who do you think has a better fan base, State or Ole Miss?
Be honest now.
Ole Miss, because like when I went to Duty Noble in school back in like 2007, Mark Wright was in right field, and it's all my fault. I was completely talking crap in the outfield at Duty Noble.
Mm-hmm.
And before I knew it, some very kind State fans who just wanted me to have a good time had lifted me in the air to throw me over the right field fence.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And
they sensed it.
Yeah.
They were like, that guy, he couldn't whip a picture of me.
What about rational fan base? Who's more rational?
Don't you dare say.
100% Ole Miss.
Oh my
100%.
God. Oh my God.
State fans actually think that like where the programs are in 2026.
What's his name?
Oh, that's Gracie and Riley right there. They're wonderful.
No, not your lovely children. No. I'm talking about your message board. There's this guy. He used to work there, and now he doesn't. We're going to talk about rational with that guy. What are we talking about here?
Hey, did you tell Steve Robertson I said what's up?
This is Gracie. I'll pass it along. I'll see him tonight.
We really don't need to go down the rational track.
That's a bad road for you.
I'm going to be honest with you. Neither one of us are winning that, dude. We're not winning that.
So this
State fans are far more rational than Ole Miss fans. It's not even. Ole Miss fans wake up in the morning and think that they are God and that
no one does this.
They are like, because I went to Ole Miss, everything good in life's going to happen to me. That's how y'all.
No one does this.
It's you every morning. You look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I'm good.
Man, because everyone knows when it comes to Ben Garrett, self-hate is not the problem at all.
No.
He's way too arrogant about it.
Everybody hates you, and especially me. And by and large, I think you're a jerk. And you wanted to have the problem.
No offense. I mean,
with all due
respect,
Ben,
you suck. All right.
You come out here, you flap your little gums, you talk, good. Hotty toddy, I'm not a fan. That's that other guy. But still, he called me a fat incel. I'll say whatever I want about him.
Oh, that's not nice.
I got 2 kids. How could I be an incel?
I got 2 kids. But wait. He's worked really hard on his body for the last year. Don't fat shame him. He's done great. I'm so proud of him. Man, that man's put in how much you down, brother?
105.
105.
Yeah.
Look, I remember this man when he used to drink like a gallon of Coke a day.
I was on, Stafford Sheridan. You know who that is?
I don't know.
Yes, very well.
Brad knows him. He's a Delta farmer. He does a podcast. He owns a restaurant. He does a lot of stuff on. He does like restaurant reviews on TikTok.
Tailgate review.
Yeah. So I was talking to him about how I used to eat, and Ben knows I used to just in calories in Coca-Cola, I would drink 3,000 calories of Coca-Cola a day. Never mind the food. I haven't eaten yet. I've just put 3,000 calories down. So
now that man could be sitting there with a gallon of it and just like
a gallon. They don't sell gallons of Coca-Cola.
2 gallons of Coca-Cola, man. Like
Brian,
what you want to do that again? Brian Hadad was such a cokehead. How much of a cokehead was he? Sorry,
less than Kiffin.
People think I may lean one way or the other on this. I'm going to surprise some people.
Every time I get him to lean over, it makes me happy. I know I got him.
Starkville, city,
food,
entertainment versus Oxford, food and entertainment. I think it's closer than people think.
So this is what I'm going to say. The same thing I always say when people talk about Oxford. Like, is there an amusement park there that I don't know about? Like, Oxford's a great college town, but people act like it's New York City. Like it's Las Vegas or something. Like some bars and restaurants.
You've talked enough. Let me make this point for him, okay? Because I used to be one of those snobby people about.
You used to be snobby. What are you now?
About how Oxford was heads and shoulders above Starkville. One, I used to like growing up. I hated state. Hated it. Like and Brian, same thing. Like it was a different time then. Like you were one or the other. And the other one hated each other, right? So anything good
it's changed so much since then, you know.
Well, it really has changed in the 2020s. Seriously, there's been a real change, at least in my personal life with state, over the last 6 months.
Yeah. I'm not talking about between you and me. I'm talking about just between the fan bases. Like they still hate each other.
They still hate each other, but it's not what it was, and you can admit that. Like it is not what it was. It's just not.
I think it peaked with Freeze and Mullen.
100%. Like we were talking about, could it get any more toxic? It couldn't.
Yeah.
Now, but like I was thinking about this when you told me you want to do the show with Brian, and there's no way it could ever happen again. But like where the hard truth is, if Mississippi had one major university like LSU, buddy, they'd be LSU.
We'd be LSU. I mean.
But
you put together State and Ole Miss's 2014 team, and that's one of the greatest college football teams of all time.
I mean, I could
it's not close. They would have beaten everybody they played.
It makes me sick to think about what Mississippi
2018 Mississippi State had the #1 defense in the nation. Well, imagine if they had Jordan Ta'amu and AJ Brown and DK Metcalf, and that was just one team. I mean, who's beating that team? Nobody.
And so for me, it used to be like that. Like you dismissed everything about the other place. Oh, it sucks. It's terrible. I hate them. Ole Miss is snobs and State's a bunch of rednecks.
Right.
Number one, when all the host stuff went down, you know who was some of the people that rallied to my cause more than anybody? State people.
Well, it's because we hate Kiffin.
Yes, but also
to do with you.
Sorry,
no, but also like it is like for any of them to come to my defense after 2 decades of doing this.
That's true.
And more than that, like I've been down there for soccer tournaments for Gracie. I've been down there for gymnastics, stuff like.
Does he ever call me and be like, "Hey, you want to grab some?" No, he doesn't do that. He'll be the first one to tell you I'm a bad friend. But does he ever call me when he's in town? No.
This is a long way of saying Starkville's actually a really cool place to be, and they've got some really good restaurants and some really cool places to hang around. They welcome you. Don't be a dick. I like Oxford more, but mainly that's just because of what I've known most of my life. It's packed to the brim now, and it's kind of insane. Long story short, I'd rather be at either of those places than Baton Rouge.
Final question today for both of you, and this is the one that everybody
Restaurant
always
Tyler.
talks about.
Brian Hadad introduced me to Restaurant Tyler, and it's friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Brad knows about Tyler.
Yeah. So the final question for both of you, and this is what everybody talks about. State people, the question, does State hate Ole Miss more than Ole Miss fans hate State?
Yes.
Would State rather Ole Miss lose than State win?
No to that. They would rather State win.
Okay.
But
yes.
Are you done?
Sorry, man, I got a catch in my throat.
I'm not surprised you got something in your throat.
You're the one that was gargling earlier. Sorry.
Huh?
You're
the one who's like, I just want to touch Dak Prescott.
I want to shake your hand.
I just want to feel his flesh next to mine.
Can you admit that he shit his pants in the Egg Bowl?
I have no comment. The answer to the question, State fans hate Ole Miss more than Ole Miss fans hate State, but that's like saying that the sun is hotter than this other star. All right?
Yeah.
They hate each other. There's a lot of hatred there.
Well, that's what happens when you're a little brother. I just wanted to say it before we
Is that what you wanted to say?
I just wanted to see
Is that what you wanted to say?
Stops him cold.
I always say the same thing when I hear that. Like Michael Corleone was the little brother. You guys are Fredo.
You know,
LSU is Sonny.
But then I get to do the Ole Miss thing and say, it doesn't have to be like that, Brian.
You're just talking to me like I'm smart.
Is this where you want to be? You little Mississippi State turd. Is this where you want to be when Jesus comes back, picking on little old Ole Miss Ben Garrett? Is this where you want to be? Oh, what would Jesus do? Not act like you, Brian Hadad. And that's why Ole Miss will always live a more blessed, charmed existence than Mississippi State.
If you ever see a picture of Jesus and it doesn't look like this right here, that's a problem. All right, because that's where I'm from. That's my hood, as the kids say. And as far as that goes, I mean, this is what you do. You pick on the people of the land. All right, the food that you eat, we provide it.
He said, who's putting their hands in the dirt and getting under their fingernails?
Ole Miss fans make fun of farmers. Do you not eat?
Y'all are manicuring your fingernails.
That's right.
Meanwhile,
soft hands, brother, that's you.
I'm not gonna lie. I moisturize.
I bet you do. I bet you do. So when you finally meet Dak, you can be like, look, it'll be really soft if you let me go.
Yeah,
right,
and then I'll accidentally limp hand him and like.
Oh, you will absolutely. You'll dead fish him, and he'll be like, who the hell was that guy?
Here's the thing about Dak. I will go to my grave. I've told Hadad this. If we're talking about the greatest players of all time in each sport, I can make a case that Ole Miss would wipe the floor with State. All right, I could.
In football?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You probably. I don't wipe the floor. It's strong.
Wipe the floor.
But Ole Miss, would probably have. Well, I mean, I did the for SuperTalk. I did the top 25 players in Mississippi over the last 25 years, and I think that I Ole Miss had 3 of the top 5 or 4 of the top 5, something like that. I mean, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I mean, I know the top 2 were Patrick Willis and Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So State's top guy was not Dak Prescott.
Let me think. Who would it be in football?
Eric Moulds.
I thought it was the top 25 last 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Last 25 years.
It's an easy one.
Chris Jones.
No,
yeah, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones didn't make my top 25.
That's insane. Jeffrey Simmons.
It was Simmons. For college, Chris Jones did not have that impressive of a college career.
He was almost an Ole Miss Rebel too.
Well, there's a long line of those guys.
Yeah.
There's a long line of almost Ole Miss Rebels. If I can make an All-American team out of the guys who had Ole Miss in their heart.
But Chris Jones, here's the thing. C.J. Johnson broke his brain. He broke your brain.
My brain.
Yeah.
Could care less about that guy.
Saw him
out for him. He's like an assistant coach at Charleston.
First of all, he's doing great. What are you doing as a Mississippi State?
I am the preeminent voice for Mississippi State sports in the state of Mississippi.
He said he is the preeminent voice. Jack Crystal.
Jack Crystal is no longer with us, my friend.
I know. I was going to say, roll it over in his grave.
No, Jack Crystal and I probably would have gotten along. We had similar viewpoints on Mississippi State.
I'll give you that. I'd rather Brian Hadad be the preeminent voice of Mississippi State.
I mean, it says it on my Twitter profile. I am the state's preeminent podcaster, and that was brought in. That was not me saying that. That was Sports Business Journal.
Oh, well, Sports Business Journal said it.
Yeah, that's a national reputable publication.
Okay.
So,
it used to be a national reputable national publication, Sports Illustrated,
Playboy,
Newsweek.
Yeah.
Sporting News. Now they're all just aggregation stations.
They are. You're an aggregation station.
Yeah, that's like I'm not going to say what I was about to say, but I'm not running anybody down. But hey, man, I'm glad you got an award. You got a participation trophy.
Have you been suspended for the rest of the season?
This is, dude. Here's the thing. how crazy I was about the Braves for most all my life.
All your life.
Here. But now, when they won the title in 2021, it just ended for me.
I'm entering my Vitello era. I'm going to see how that goes for me.
I hope it works out well for you, my friend. I really do. How easily did I win? Was it?
I think it's subjective.
You didn't win anything.
All right, so
it was a lot of fun today.
I put him in a locker. You know, stuffed his stupid ass in a locker. We're all good.
Yeah, is that what you think?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you think. I can't believe you fell into it. I cannot believe you, of all people. I set that up. I put it on the tee, and you just did that. I can't get over it. Of all people on this earth, Ben Garrett.
I was watching 2001 No Way Out last night.
NWO returns. I, not lying. I just Googled that. I just YouTubed it the other day. I was just like, this was great.
2001 No Way Out was awesome. Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what this is. I'm Stone Cold. He's Triple H. Triple H.
I know. Yeah. See, it can't be that way because Stone Cold's the redneck, so that's got to be me. You're the high and mighty, guy. You're
Triple H's daughter.
I've always said it's better if you say that you're Ric Flair and I'm Dusty Rhodes. That's right, Daddy.
I'm John Cena and you're CM Punk in Money in the Bank 2015.
Well, Punk won that, so I'll take it.
I know. Yeah. So I'm saying, you won this because you're fine. I don't know what we were competing for, but I'm a gracious host. So I'll say Brian Hadad just pulled a CM Punk because Ole Miss is obviously the better football program.
And obviously
the healthiest program of the two. You're an idiot. Oh,
that's what he did. I know.
Right, Brian, Brad, who won?
I think it's a draw. I think both of you did a very good job today. I think we've got to do it again. I can't thank Brian enough, who is the quote preeminent voice for athletics.
Oh, Gail says Ben's the cute one. Got him.
Oh, now we're going on looks.
Got you, Brian. Hey, Dad. What's up? Gail said your boys got it. Still got it. Age 40 year. Hey, honey, you watching this back in New Albany Elementary School? Gail said, I'm a ball. I got something. What's up? Brian, hey, Dad, what do you got? What you got? Your freaking participation trophy, jerk face. I missed you, dude. Here's the truth.
Are you done?
I love Brian Hadad. I think he's wonderful and funny and great at what he does. And he has really helped me. He's helped me personally, professionally, grow as a human being. And there's nothing beyond his capacity in this space here. And the fact that he just said immediately, sure, I'll come to your stupid debate show with y'all today.
Brad asked.
What?
It was more because Brad asked.
Yeah.
Brad said, and I was like, oh, yeah, Brad, I'll help you out. Sure.
I can't wait for him to never come back.
Oh, he's coming back.
I'll be back. I'll come back whenever I want.
I'll be washing my hair.
I'll be washing my house. I'm showing you your house like Brian Pillman.
I'll be washing my hair that day.
You need
Sorry,
to.
I'm busy.
Wreck of a mop on top of your head.
Hey, at least I still got some good hair.
Such a great show today.
I see that salt in your beard.
There's more salt and pepper literally every time I go to the barbershop. Man. So
we're gonna veer back into the middle. And thank Brian Hadad for coming on the show today. At Brian Hadad on X, great follow. Of course, the Thunder and Lightning podcast with Robbie Falk. Sure. And then every single day on Sports Talk Mississippi from 3 to 6 with Michael Borky and then Richard Cross.
Now, Michael Borky, that's a salt of the earth son of a gun right there. That's a lunch pail. That's a good human being right there.
You can have him. All right?
That's a good human being. You know what? You tell Michael Borky he's welcome anytime.
He's taking over for you, by the way, the whole, I'm not a fan thing. He's taking over for you. That Saturday night, I texted him, and I texted him and Richard. I said, this might be the first time I've ever cheered for Ole Miss because I wanted y'all to beat Auburn because it'll be funny if they don't make the NCAA tournament. Thought y'all played well.
He said, who's y'all?
Yeah, he said back, he's like, I didn't play in the game. I was like, you son of a, can you just be normal? Just be normal.
You knew what he meant. Borky, you knew what he meant.
Richard was nice about it. Believe it or not, that guy.
Richard, the most buttoned up of the group.
Richard is the most Ole Miss person that ever lived on this planet. There ain't nobody more Ole Miss rebel than Richard Cross. That's why we make a good team.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Borky to embrace that.
Well, he's still, he's still got some.
He's a perfect Ole Miss student. He's from out of state.
Well coiffed, well dressed,
well dressed from out of state.
Mm.
That's the most typical Ole Miss student there is.
Meanwhile,
here's what I respect about Richard is, it doesn't matter if it's Ole Miss versus State, State versus
great.
Vandy, Ole Miss versus Auburn. Man, he does
He is great on the play-by-play. I'm hopeful that he'll continue to get opportunities, and because I think he deserves to be right there with those guys on ESPN calling college football. So
yeah, I would just really hope that one day he's able to just remove himself from the company of such a miserable person as Brian Hadad.
You did it, and you got worse.
It's true.
We don't even work together, and you're the most miserable sumbitch that ever lived.
I just wish, all I wanted to do is cut promos for now. That's kind of what we did. So
yeah, we had some fun with it. So all right, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'll talk to
you. Bye, Hadad. Oh, I love Brian Hadad. He's gone. Kicked from the studio. Good. I've never felt better than to kick somebody from the studio. In all honesty, in complete truth here, Brian Hadad is awesome, great person, and great at what he does. And I'm so thankful he stopped in and talked to us, man. That was really fun.
Yeah, so many people in the chat are thanking Brian for coming on, and we appreciate him doing that. I thought it was a lot of fun. Something we may do with some other programs around the conference, and maybe some more programs around some more folks around Mississippi State. But that was a lot of fun. I appreciate Brian doing that today. Thanks to all of our sponsors, of course. We've got a ton of new sponsors. We're going to bring you new commercials for them. You saw the ceasefire commercial. There'll be more coming from Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. We got something working with them. We're grateful for Brian and Mason and the entire team. Go to Allen Samuels ASDJ CDJR.com or AllenSamuelsOxford.com. They'll take care of you and get a brand new vehicle for you. There it is, AllenSamuelsOxford.com or 662-234-8000. Also grateful for so many people that have made this podcast for you possible. Game Day Oxford, your spot for a haircut in Oxford, a beard trim. They've got you covered. Just go to the good folks at Game Day Oxford, and they will take care of you. And in the Hearn Law Firm, we're so excited to continue with Philip Hearn and the Hearn Law Firm. Appreciate Philip and all he does for us here on the Talk of Champions.
Yes, and before we get out of here, to show you, we're stepping up. Look here, we're going to hear from Riverland, a commercial.
Protecting homes and businesses from the whims of nature. You need more than just quality materials. You require Riverland Roofing. Licensed, insured, and certified, Riverland Roofing offers not only the assurance of excellence, but a tailored approach to your unique structural needs and budget. To learn more about what Riverland Roofing can do for you and the community, call them at 662-644-4297 or visit riverlandroofing.com.
Look at how fancy we are. I mean,
Pretty
come
good.
on. Look at us stepping up. You're right. As go to hell LSU. Hit that like button. It is nice to have the rivalry, not what it was in the late 2010s. It was a really bad place. I think the world of Brian Hadad, and I mean it. When last year was tough for me in a lot of different ways. Now, a lot of it was self caused. But man, State fans, I got nothing but a renewed respect and love for them. It's more fun and more the spirit of what it used to be about. Yeah, we want State to lose, but the hatred and vitriol and the animus that it used to carry just isn't the same anymore. And I think Brian's a great representation of that. I mean, Brian's been a hardcore State guy ever since I've known him. And before we got to know each other working together years and years ago, he didn't like me at all just because of online stuff. And now he is somebody that I could quite literally haven't talked to him in a while and could pick up a phone. And if I needed him, I could call him. There's so many like that with Mississippi State now, and I'm so thankful for them. A lot of them have become even stronger friends for me ever since a challenging year last year. So I just want to take a moment and say thank you to him and thank you to that community. All it does is make me think more and more of, man, if our ancestors back in the day when they split into two, if State is one, man, what it could have been in terms of a winning tradition, only rivaled, in my opinion, by an LSU. Who's a good example of what Ole Miss or the University of Mississippi, not Ole Miss, not MSU, the University of Mississippi, what it could have looked like. But hey, man, it's good to see baseball doing some great things for State. Ole Miss baseball's 12-2, 2 wins in the midweek, or 1 win in 2 weeks in the midweek. There's some questions they got to figure, about that team, and they've shown a little chinks in the armor there, but that's a baseball team that's going to compete for the postseason, and NCAA regional. State's in a great place, and arguably one of the better teams in college baseball this year. Basketball, neither team is playing. particularly well. And Ole Miss ends its season on Saturday. I will be there on Saturday. If you wanted to do a live show and you go live and me report live from it, we could do it if you wanted to, Brad.
Because I'm going to be a great idea.
I'm going to be at the regular season finale. Going to talk to Chris Beard afterwards and just cover the game. I just really want to cover Ole Miss basketball game like the old days and like the way we used to do it. So a lot of thanks to all y'all, man, who through this off season and as we all kind of wait for the return of the craziness and the chaos and that kind of stuff, hanging with us and letting us try some stuff like getting my guy Brian Hadad on, who is absolutely fantastic. And you can check out all the stuff at SuperTalk Mississippi. This QR code above my head, scan it today for new members. You can try us for free at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate on 3 for 5 days for $1, not free, $1 for 5 days. Then it flips to an annual sub. But we would love to have you at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate on 3.
Appreciate everybody. It was a lot of fun today.
It was a lot of fun. I feel like I hadn't really heard your voice very much, Brad. I feel like it just was a lot of Ben and Brian yelling.
Well, this was about Ben and Brian today. And so I've enjoyed getting to be a part of it.
Well, I enjoyed the idea. Next time, go get Blake to come into our arena to talk about Ole Miss LSU. Go get whoever you want, from Florida. And man, you know what I want to do? I want to get like Caden Lee or Austin Simmons on this pod. That's what I want.
Yeah,
that's what we got to work on. That's so a lot of things coming here on Talking Champions. Thank you, Brad. All right, folks.